Hey. Hi. Sorry. That took a hot minute. I had to like update Zoom and it didn't work. I did it 3 times, blah, blah, blah. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody, yes, Juliana, Edith, Judith, hi. You don't have to say anything. I'm just going to just talk unless you guys have questions. I'm hoping that you guys saw the message on the homepage. So this is what I got from the dean yesterday, is that we are, let me double check the section number so I know we're in the right place. So the Monday class that normally meets at 10:15, we were going to do a like last semester. I had the same class, same time. We did face-to-face hybrid, so we met Mondays, and then Wednesdays we did like open, like drop-in time. That's the same format right now. So Mondays, Wednesdays, 10:15 to 11:45, except the dean wants to push it back by, this is 04657. She wants to push it back by 2 weeks. So starts on the 21st. So I'm just having a Zoom today so I can answer questions and see how I can support you guys, because we're going to take like a little bit like a 2-week break and then come like restart. So how does that work for your guys' schedule? Same class, just 2 weeks shorter. Yeah.
I had a quick question.
Yes, Edith, yes.
Since it's being pushed back, does that mean there's a likelihood that the class might be canceled, or is it for sure going to happen?
So here's, okay. So if I was a part-time professor, that's a maybe. Yeah, because so the whole campus has a policy of, we try to have like 20 people in a class to like keep it going, right? And so you've probably experienced where you've been in a class and there's like 15 and then like poof, it's gone, and like, wait a minute. I have to tell you that that attitude and that policy has kind of changed this semester because of low enrollment. All the upper administrators are like, oh no, let's keep all the classes. Let's just shift them around a little bit. So I'm hoping that's, and then here I'm going to give you another secret. Not a secret. This is not really a secret. Since I'm a full-time professor, I have a contract with the state of California. They have to give me 5 classes. They are contracted to give me 5 classes. They would prefer that they're full, right? So they're getting more bang for their buck, right? They'd rather have me teach 5 classes with 40 students than 5 classes with 14 students, right? So chances are this class will not be canceled because I'm a full-time professor. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And so, so I can tell you last semester I had sort of a low enrollment, like I got to like 22, which is kind of low for us. I usually have like 40 in a wait list. In fact, in my online classes, I have like a wait list. It's just preference. I'm actually on campus right now. I prefer to be here on campus. I like to see people. I was hired as a professor, not as like a mom who does laundry and dishes and works at home. Like, you know, like I want to be here. I want to see you guys. I want to like, you know, do the whole college thing. I love college. And so it's this thing where that's why I have wanted to do the class like hybrid face-to-face, but nobody else wanted to. I can't. Our goal is to be responsive to what the students need, right? So if my online classes are filling like gangbusters, that's what we see that you guys are responding to. Now, some of you want the face-to-face just like me, but not as many. So that's why what we're trying to do is do the videos face-to-face and then just push it back. So we have as close to an actual face-to-face as possible. Now, with that being said, the Wednesday drop-in times, I can host that in a classroom. If you guys want to come with your mask, we could do a face-to-face drop-in time on. So I have a Monday, Wednesday class. And so the Wednesday will be drop-in time, but I also have a Tuesday, Thursday. So the Tuesday's drop-in time. It doesn't matter what section you guys come to. You guys can come Tuesday or Wednesday for drop-in time. So we can always talk about that, and I can have that as an option. We go 10:15 to 11:45, drop in or not. Maybe you're going to be on campus in the library. Maybe you're going to be on a campus for another class. Yeah, I'm here. Good question, though. Good question.
I
Oof.
also have another question.
Hey, Judith, yes.
So since we're starting the 21st, like as of these 2 weeks, we don't have any work, right? Like we don't have to.
No, but
Because I
what
was looking over the syllabus and like the assignments and
but what
stuff.
I did is I left open like the intro module.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
Like I
saw
left it open so you guys could read through it. There are things at the end that are due at the end of the first week. So I didn't even open those, meaning like there's like a discussion board and the survey and like blah, blah, blah. But no, just I gave you guys time. I gave you the module that says the book. So look at the book, get comfortable with the book, download it, print it. I don't, however you want to do it. I left that open for you guys to, get comfortable. You have 2 weeks, like a head start in a way. And then I left the prep week, which is like usually the first week, get comfortable with the class and get comfortable with Canvas, blah, blah, blah. I left that open, but nothing's due because technically the class isn't open,
yeah.
right? So I can't technically assign anything or expect you guys to do anything. So, I mean, even if, that's another thing. We have to be fair. So if the class does get pushed back 2 weeks, it starts the exact same day for everybody. It's like the 3 of you don't get it pushed back like 2 head start. Like we have to be equitable about that. Same thing with the last day of class for all of your classes. It has to be like that end date, whatever web advisor says, it has to be that end date because it can't be like an extra date for an extra person or else that's not fair, right? That's not equity. Yeah. So
So
I'm very specific about start dates and end dates. Like I can't, yeah.
is there like any chance that we would go in person, like that would switch or no? Not really.
Well, because this is also what I was told. If it's however it's listed in Web Advisor is how it has to stay. However, I have to tell you, all these rules, all the rules for the last couple years. So this is our 4th semester, right? Remote.
Mm.
So all the rules have been like, I mean, there may be a time where they ask, hey, Professor Laney, do you want to come in? Do you want to offer it in person? Maybe halfway through, they might be like, hey, like, let's open the campus up if the risk has really gotten lower or what, I don't know. They could say that. And I would say yes. But also with that in mind, I don't take attendance. I don't require people to come. My philosophy, even pre-pandorama, was like, you're in college, you're an adult, like come or don't, right? I try to make all of the materials, all the content, everything is available. Like, let's say, like again, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, if you were here on campus and you just felt crummy, or it was your week to feel crummy, right? And you didn't want to come, but you didn't want to miss class. Like I literally set up all my classes to either be an online class or an in-person class, no difference. Because that's how life, in my opinion, that's how life should be. Life should be almost like a choose your own adventure. Like, by the way, when I take classes, that's what I look for. I look for like, hey, maybe this week I can travel to campus or I can be present during that time. And sometimes I can't, I have a disabled teenager who's already been like he's been on the warpath this morning too. So it's like, sometimes I, as a student, I'm not available at all the times and I don't want to get penalized for that because life is life.
Yeah.
So
the 21st.
you guys can see the syllabus then, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So those policies don't change. Like all my policies are the same. It's just like when the assignments show up in the calendar.
So the 21st, same at 10:15, 11:45, and Wednesday, 10:15, 11:45.
And the Wednesdays are both days are completely optional.
Oh, okay,
What
yeah.
I'm telling you, both days are completely optional.
Okay.
Again, I'm going to record it and post it.
Okay.
So let's say Monday, your boss calls you and says, you need to come into work. And you're like, I got out of school. And you're like, oh, wait, Professor Laney records it and I'll just watch it after my shift.
And you just post it on Canvas? Okay.
So every chapter will say like chapter 1 content, video right there. And I can do it, I can get it converted and have it posted that day. like later that day, maybe like by 4 o'clock.
That's convenient.
Well, I mean, I look at it like, okay, so this is how I look at it. I'm a professor. And quite frankly, if you guys had the option to just sit and read a book and take a bunch of quizzes and get a grade, I mean, you could do that. It's boring, right? So what is it that I'm providing that the book is not? Well, okay, yeah, I'm a little bit more animated, whatnot. Okay, great. And maybe I'll try to make analogies and connect the material, but so whether or not you're sitting here with me live during Zoom or watching it the next day or even Friday, it's the same thing. I'm not holding the content hostage. Meaning like it's child development. We used to be called human development because it is human development. Every human on the planet was a child, right? So my information, I'm like the luckiest professor on campus. Everything that I am like really pacing you guys through in a book, you've already experienced. Like this book literally is from conception to 18. Most of you are past 18, right? So let's say we're talking about when you were 10 years old and how your brain was learning math or English or something like that. You already been there. You guys are technically experts at this entire book. You just don't know it yet. And so I look at it like I'm here to kind of guide you through it and help you learn how to apply it to yourself, right? Because it's like sometimes you learn it and it doesn't like quite click in until I kind of help you like, put those two pieces together. That's kind of what that's what I consider myself, as more of a facilitator, a guide, because you guys kind of already know this stuff. You really do. So I'm not teaching a dead language, a dead society, anatomy flashcards, or like polynomials. I'm not teaching any of that. I'm teaching you guys to know more about you and the people that you live with. So I mean, I look at it like, if I didn't record and I didn't share, that just is kind of like opposite of what I'm here for or why you're here for. Like, it makes no sense to me. It just makes more sense to be available through a YouTube video whenever you want. That makes sense. Yeah. So, and thankfully last semester is when I switched to this new online book. And so there are little blippy blaps, but I try to polish every week before I unload the new module. But you guys will be the first semester that you guys are getting the recordings, because last semester I didn't do the recordings. So you guys are going to be the first semester getting the recordings. All the rest of my other classes, because I've had the same book for so long, I've been able to do recordings. This class is new, like not new, but the book is new. So you guys are getting the first, what I call is a full scope learning, which is like, here I'm guiding you to the readings. Here's some videos that illustrate the readings, and here's me lecturing. Now, also the woman who wrote this book up at College of the Canyons, she does have videos and like a little PowerPoint. So that's helpful. I think she does it all the way up to like chapter 10 or something. And mine is more like helping you guys put all the pieces together and then walk you through what are we doing this week. Even talk about the discussion board and like some tips and tricks on how to be successful this week, or answer the questions that you may have. So it's not the woman who wrote it, it's me kind of walking you through what's up this week and the content. Yeah. I mean, I love this stuff. I mean, like I said, I'm like the luckiest professor on campus. I just miss you guys. So I'm trying to be as like animated and full scope as possible without being in a classroom. And if they ask me, will you offer it in person to your students? I'll be like, yeah, heck yeah, I'm already here.
I wish it was in person.
I know. I was like, and plus I've had like one other class. So I teach intro to special needs as well. And I usually teach 2 of those sections and one completely got cut. And I was like, so yeah, we all have to be flexible. It's not my first choice. And again, I come to campus because I love the environment. Our campus is beautiful. And my dog's not barking at the Amazon guy. It's like, right? Or the dishes aren't calling my name, the laundry and blah, 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 whatever. So I'm here for you guys. So my schedule is typically like Monday through Friday, like I'm on my kid's up at 6, so I'm on by like, yeah, 8. I kind of like I kind of peek. I get him off to school and then I peek before 8, and then I get in the shower and get ready. And then I'm usually here on campus till about 4, and then I get him off the bus, and then I'm usually back online at 8. So a little bit here and there. I'm trying really hard not to work so much. My goal is not working 7 days a week. So, but I want to make sure that you guys are getting what you need. And I know in the online environment, it takes a little bit more support. It takes a little bit more support, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah, good. And Juliana, do you want to jump in?
Yes, I have a question.
Sure,
Or
sure.
actually, what advice could you give us for taking online classes? I feel a little discouraged because I wanted to go on campus so bad, but yeah, I'm just I'm afraid of how I'll do, but
Okay.
I don't know. I just
All right.
need advice.
So online classes in general,
Yeah.
I'm going to try to be super supportive and positive right now, because I mentioned to you that I do take classes. I'm a much more compulsive professor than I am a student. So I can tell you right now, like, I'm not personally a great fan of online classes, but when you get up, they're all online. So I just grumble about it. I look at it 2 ways. You can either, and this is the same thing as like philosophically for life, right? You can either, when you get a task, you either do it right away or you can wait till the last minute. Now, sometimes I'm the right away. I need to do that right now. Like, it was assigned to Monday. I need to start looking at it on Monday and Tuesday. And then sometimes my week just slips away, and here I am Saturday night, Sunday night, and stuff's due, and I'm like psycho. Okay. I'm going to give you like the keys to the kingdom right here. For my class, I do believe in very flexible due dates. Okay. So number one, I mentioned to you earlier, like, such is life. Like, life is like all of the above right now. There is no normal. There is no the way it used to be. That we don't even know what it's going to be like tomorrow. Like, we don't. So, but the flexibility is actually very tiresome. Like, I get it. Like, being flexible all the time takes a lot of energy, right? And even though I'm super talkative, I am an introvert. So a lot of times, like, my energy is like zapped. I'm like, oh, what? So what I do for this course, I have specifically course designed very, again, you heard me say I teach special needs. I am a big advocate for inclusion, equity. What is fair for you might be not fair for somebody else, but like trying to make it fair, trying to make it equitable, right? So like, if you need whatever you need to be successful, that looks different for everybody. In fact, I added in a survey for all my classes this semester, like, called The Secret to Your Success. Like, how do you know, like, what works best for you? Because what works best for you doesn't work best for me, right? I happen to be a visual learner. A lot of people are visual learners, but I also know when my eyes aren't connecting to my brain, I can shut my eyes and use my ears. My ears are like my backup. So then I'm auditory. And then if that doesn't work, I literally have to get up and like pace and fidget and stuff like that. I can also be very kinesthetic. So I know that I have these 3 tiers. And by the way, if I'm tired or exhausted, I need to use like all 3 to get the new information in. So I'll be at home, like on my classes, like putting like, I have like, honestly, like YouTube music in the background, even though I'm in the class. And then I'm standing at home, I have a stand-up desk, and like, or I'll have a fidget in my hand. Even when I was giving a workshop last week to the whole campus, I was super fidgety. I literally have like that little Zen garden, like right here. I was like fidgeting with my Zen garden. Right. So you have to know you, but not everybody knows that quite yet. So we'll develop that as we go. Another piece of advice, well, maybe I am biased, we're all biased, but so I course designed this class to, number one, be highly predictable. I think that provides like a security or calmness to the brain. So a lot of people, if they don't know what's happening tomorrow, they get really anxious, and then sometimes they'll drop out. In my class, I call it like the hamster wheel schedule. So every week, I know that our class can be 2. So our book is 15 chapters, and our our actual course is going to be now 14. So we're going to overlap a couple of things, and I'm going to make it fair and not like I still have to kind of like work that out in my head. But typically on a Monday morning, the module opens. Now, if you guys say, hey, I'm slammed at work on Monday, can you open it up on Sunday? Yeah, I can do that. Who cares? Like, what does that do? I can open it up Saturday if you guys are like hot to try. That's fine. That's fantastic. I had somebody ask me, oh, listen, when I get fidgety, I just want to write the notes and write the outline. So can you open up all the outlines from 1 to 15? Sure. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you guys keep it open line of communication, means that, hey, this works for me or this doesn't work for me, great. That's the best, right? Because sometimes it's the same thing as when you ask a question, 14 other people have the same question, but nobody wanted to ask. So I'm super open. Plus, every time you guys ask me something, I'm learning something, right? And we all evolve. So my brain now is different than it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Fine. We all kind of evolve, right? So again, number one, my class is extremely predictable. Like I have a touch of the OCD. So let's just say that's very helpful sometimes. Sometimes I get kind of stuck in my own little swirly, but it's normally very helpful for other people. Number two, I'm super flexible. So when I say, you'll see on there that says like, oh, chapter 2.1 intro, and it says do 11:59. Hey, that just says, hey, read me. That's not really an assignment. People start to freak out. This says, I missed this assignment and it was due on Monday, 11:59. Hey, once you click on that page, that comes off your to-do list like this. 11:59 just says, hey, read me. 8 o'clock says, hey, it's a due date. But listen, if you tell me, okay, Professor Lena, I say all the notes are due on Fridays at 8 o'clock, but I work Fridays but I couldn't get it until like Saturday at like 8 o'clock or noon or sun. My answer is no problem. I do not take off points for late work. 0. In fact, I call my due dates target dates. Target dates. If you hit that target, awesome. Some people are compulsive. They want that hamster wheel. They want that calendar. They want it's predictable. Some people are like, oh no, I can get like 14 chapters done this week. Like, trust me, I see that energy does ebb and flow. Our dopamine and serotonin's always doing this, right? So I'm literally, but here's my, I have 2 limits to that. Discussion boards, I won't take late. Because we're talking about this one particular topic. Talking about it 3 weeks later is not helping you. So just get that done in the week. So if you tell yourself, what's my priority? The discussion board. That's again, replicating sort of what we do in class, right? So trying to keep you guys as connected as possible. And you know what, I have to tell you that discussion boards, like, they're the worst. They really are. But we are required to do them, And I do them very meaningful. I try to bring in an app or a video or an activity. Like sometimes I say, go in your house and, put together, a bunch of like things that look like that, or, like a symbol or whatever. Like I get kind of silly sometimes. Go interview your mom or your grandparent or a sibling who's had a child. So I try to keep it more interesting as much as I can. So keep the discussion boards within the week they're assigned. And number 2, if you're going to be like super duper late, like more than a day, let me know. And I call it your recovery plan. So if you say, hey, I know that assignment was due, it's due this Saturday, I don't think I'm going to make it. Can I turn it in by Tuesday? Sure. Like, honestly, I've had more people take a huge sigh of relief and give me better work a couple days later. No me importa. I want you guys to be able to focus and give me good quality work and understand what we're doing here versus be so stressed out and you like give me a flaming dumpster of work. That doesn't work, right? Also, I mentioned that I do require notes. I did put that in the syllabus, but it's in any format. Any format. I am not joking. If you want to give me a mind map, if you want to give me an interpretive dance, if you want to give me a video, if you want to give me Cornell notes, bullet notes, if you're a graphic designer, you want to do it in a graphic novel, like I'm cool with that. I just want to make sure that I can grade it equitably, right? So one person's not doing like 18 pages, another person's doing like a half a page. Trust me, I get like pink glitter pen on a ripped out notebook, and it's like I can't give you 10 points for that, but we can come up with something. Yeah, so again, it's a choose your own adventure with everybody gets the same book. It's like playing Monopoly, but you don't always have to go in the same circle. Like you can go slower, you can go faster. It's like, yeah. So it's like I'm trying to be as flexible, but at the same time, the goal here, as I mentioned, is for you to learn the content, but what does that content mean to you and your world, right? Because to me, content just for the sake of content is boring, right? So like, for example, like I took at Cal State Fullerton, I took like history of jazz. Okay, so I wasn't a music major, but it was like a 300 level class and whatever, humanities class. Like I like music. I'm a musician, like fine, right? I have a ukulele sitting right here. And like, it's not like the history of jazz changed my world, but it kind of gave me a historical view of like Black artists, of what different tones of scales were. Like, it just kind of gave me like a more liberal arts view of the world, right? And what music is, and you know, what it was, right? And so, and also I could say like, I don't like that type of jazz, and I do like that type of jazz, or I don't like jazz at all. Like, so to me, content for the sake of content is a waste of everybody's time. It needs to be content that makes a difference in your world. So again, I'm fortunate that you know, if you are a child development major, I'm teaching you how to be a teacher. Like, think about that for a second. All the teachers that you've ever had a teacher teaching them how to be a teacher, whether they were good or bad. Now, again, if you end up being a good teacher, I was your teacher. If you're terrible, then I was never here, right? So I look at it like predictable, applicable. Let's do it again. Let's say predictable, flexible, and applicable. Again, I'm going to give you another hint. I know this stuff. I'm old. I've read a lot of books. I'm a mom. I've been through all of it. Like, so when people try to tell me about child development, I'm like, no. I need you to tell me how that child development applies to you, right? So if we're talking again about maybe how like maybe some 2-year-olds don't talk, you know, there's atypical or we have expected developmental milestones, and we have maybe some kids are a little bit delayed, right? What does that mean to you? Did that happen in your family? Did it happen to you? I have a child who's very delayed emotionally, but linguistically, he talks just like me a lot. So what does that mean in your world, right? And some people want to be a special ed teacher. Some people don't. Some people are terrified. When I was your age, I was terrified of children. Terrified of children. Because I didn't have such a great childhood. So I thought all children are like freaked out because they didn't have a good child. No, that's not true. And so connecting with children made a huge change in my life, and becoming a professor made me a better mom, and becoming a mom made me a better professor. So there's a lot of things, like I am very, again, fortunate for child development. It applies to my days, top to tail, child development. I live it, breathe it. Right. So again, predictable, flexible, choose your own adventure, and what was that last one? Applicable. That's the goal. Now, also, if you really scour the syllabus, I use phrases like the lowest one will be dropped at the end of the semester. This semester, I'm trying something brand new. So I normally would do the drop lowest. So let's say there's 1 week where literally maybe you are sick, maybe you're traveling, maybe your grandma's dog died, and you got to like go attend to that stuff. That's cool. I get it. Family stuff, right? So there's an outline due that week. There's a discussion board due that week. There's a reflection due that week, and there's a quiz due that week. You can drop the lowest, right? So that's 10 points, 10 points, 15 points, 15 points. That's 50 points, big whoop. Is 50 points going to make or break your grade? Maybe. Yeah. But guess what? Let's say you don't have a week that you have to take off, and you do all the stuff, but you miss a couple points here and there. That 50 points just kind of fills in those little holes in the wall. Good. This semester, I'm doing drop your lowest exam. And that's another 50 points. So that's 100 points. You guys get kind of freebies. Now it's about 1,000 points in this class. You can like, again, if you want to get a 90% in this class, you can miss 100 points and still get an A in this class. Or you can do everything to the best of your ability, and maybe some of the points like out of the notes, it's like an 8 out of 10, big whoop, right? But you get these 2 extra points here and there to fill it in. Yeah. So I'm testing this out with you guys to drop the lowest exam. So we have 5 exams in this class, which is a lot. And I know a lot of people aren't great at exams. I know it, right? But I'm equitable in the exams where I do true and false, multiple choice, matching, short essay for 10, and an extra credit for 5. So you can, and then guess what? If you're giving me a killer essay, it's worth 10, but you like blew my hair back, I can give you like 12 or 13. And then you do the extra credit, you blow my hair back on that. Instead of 5, I can give you 7. So I've had people just like blow me away and get a 65 out of 50 on an exam. What? Yeah. So I'm really like, you give me good work, I give you extra credit, like on anything. Yeah, jump in, Julie.
Okay, I have 2 questions kind of. So the first one was just to re-clarify, we could possibly get an A if we don't miss 100 points and we don't go over. So let's say we miss like 80 probably out of the whole entire class, we could possibly get an A. And then the second question is, actually, I forgot, but the first one is more important to me anyway.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. I do have people leave this class with like 107%.
Okay. Oh, okay, I remember my question.
Good.
So what is it that stands out to you that makes you want to give them a higher score?
Okay,
Let's
so
say-
well, so let's say it is the essay and the exam, and I give you guys hacks, like I give you tips, and I'm trying to do like little recordings that says like, hey, this is how you do your essay on your test. Like, and by the way, I open those tests so early, you can take that essay question, take it out, take it to the writing center and have them help you with it. And then you can cut and paste your answer in. Yeah, in fact, I strongly suggest that. So like, for example, my minimum requirements is that you answer the question. A lot of times people don't read the question right, and then they answer a different question. So I'll give you kind of a hint. Like in this class, we study domains, which is areas of focus, and we also study ages. So once you look at our book, our free book that's online, it'll talk about conception, before life, and then it'll talk about infant, toddler, right? And like 0 to 3, and then it'll talk about preschool, and then it'll talk about like middle childhood, like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, and then I'll talk about adolescence. So ages. So I might ask you, what age do you think is most critical in a person's development? So I don't say go research this. I say give me your opinion and back it up with like 3 reasons. Right? So sometimes people say, well, adolescence is the most important because it's when you learn how to be an adult. Whether I agree with that or not, I didn't ask for you to agree with me. I asked for you to tell me what you think and back it up. Like, give me 3 reasons. If you say conception is the most important age period, right? I'm going to say, okay, great. Give me 3 reasons and support it with 5 sentences each. So 3 paragraphs, 5 sentences. Like, read the instructions. I'm very specific. If you hear the way I talk, that's how I write. So I say, here's a question. I will literally, first paragraph should start with this. I literally put the prompts. I believe the most important age is, give me 3 sentences why, and then paragraph 2. So I think that's my number one thing. If people read the question, I'm very generous with hints, because really the bottom line is I want you to be successful. And just the concept of somebody saying, oh, I'm in an exam, people just get weird and freak out. And I get that. I give unlimited time and unlimited chances on all quizzes and exams. That came up a few semesters ago. I think it was maybe the remote, the one that we transitioned. I had a student who she just said, she had an accommodation letter. She said, I need as much time and as many chances. And I was like, how do I do that? And I worked with, Star and DSPS, and she was like, yeah, so like, how do I do this? So I was opening up her, and I thought, you know what? We all need to not have a time. Does it matter if you can tell me about unit 3 in a certain amount of time? No, no. Tell me about unit 3. I don't care how long it takes for you to tell me about unit 3. Tell me about unit 3 and it's going to take you 17 times. I'm fine with that too, because it's more important for you to be able to comprehend and apply unit 3 than it is to get it in this like window of time. That makes no sense to me. Right. And so I do know that my philosophy is a little liberal. It's really out there. I'm very like open. And I do know that other professors are like, nope, you're 1 minute late. I won't accept it. Like, I get that. I wish that wasn't the case, but you know, there's a bell curve of life where you're going to get really flexible people on one side and really not flexible people on the other side. So I'm hoping to balance some of that out. I don't know. Ugh, it's a lot, but I do have a very supportive department. All the people that I work with are very like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's open that up. Let's be more flexible and things like that. So, I mean, because yes, you might hear things like, oh, well, when you're an adult, you have time limits and you have to blah, blah, blah. Yeah and no. Well, yeah and no. Listen, there's consequences to every behavior in life. So if I'm late on my rent, I'm going to have a consequence. Either I have to pay a fee or I'm evicted, right? So I have a choice, pay it on time or pay it late and pay the consequence. If I'm same with a credit card bill, same with my taxes, same with my car registration, same if I don't pay a parking thing, same if I don't answer an email, same if we all have consequences. And this is part of it. My class doesn't have no consequences. My class is like, if you give me good work, you get the points. If you give me terrible work, it doesn't matter if it's on time or late. You're going to get the points for the terrible work. I cannot change the ending date of the class. Right? I cannot change the ending date of the class. So like when it says June, I think it's June 6th, 11:59, I will not, I'm like, I do play hard ass on that one. I mean, it's equity issue, like giving everybody, 14 weeks and then you get 14 weeks in 2 days. That's not fair. I won't play that game. So I look at it like, yeah, people say, oh, the only thing in life is, just death and taxes. Well, no, we can bring people back to life and taxes. The entire nation got a 90-day extension last year and the year before. So, and then if you're late, you pay a fee, right? So I look at it like, why play such hardball in one class, one semester, in one community college, in 1 year of your life, one season of your life? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. I think we need more grace than less grace. So I'm really trying to make sure. But now I have to say, people then take this generosity or this grace for weakness, or like, oh, she'll just let me turn. Yeah, I have people turn in like almost the whole semester, like the last week. Well, there's a consequence in that too. First of all, you're not giving me high quality work. Number two, you're stressed yourself out bananas. That's ridiculous. Don't do that. Tell yourself. So to me, for everybody, success in any class, don't get more than a week behind. If you're like a week and a half behind, like you need to be reaching out to me, because if I don't hear from you, you're going to hear from me. Right? If you're a week and a half behind, it's doable. You can absolutely do that. The first thing I would say is like, yeah, if your discussion board's late, just move on, right? Again, you're getting all these little fill-in points that a 15-point discussion board is not going to kill you. It will not kill you. In fact, let's put it in perspective. Discussion, we have 15 chapters, 15 points each on a discussion board. That's about 225 points. You could skip all the discussion boards and just know that you're probably going to get a B in the class. Some people are like, a B, sweet, I was going for a C. Right? Same with notes. Some people are so opposed to turning in notes or an outline. I do it so there's skin in the game. Right? And again, if you're visual, if you're auditory, if you're kinesthetic, do it your way, right? I do it so there's skin in the game, right? But they're only 10 points times 15. So it's 150 points. Yeah, you might get a B. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of in the B range at that point. Make your choices. Like for me, it's like skipping the gym. I don't go to the gym. So I have consequences, but yeah, I'm willing to pay those. Right? So again, I look at it like choose your own adventure a little bit. As long as you get that content and it applies, it sticks to you. We've won. We've done our job, all of us. So another piece of advice is, this is hard. Make a schedule and try really hard to stick to it. It's not easy. I know sometimes, especially like in the middle of semester, everyone's like, bleh, right? People kind of trickle off and fall off and don't come to class and like don't do the work. Like, oh yeah, every semester, every class is like everyone's doing good at the beginning and then it kind of trails off, and then right at the end it kind of picks up again. If that is the case, you just have to find, we'll get there in the middle of the semester and we'll talk about momentum and things like that, and goals and resetting goals and things like that. But if you know, again, keys to your, the secret to your success. If you know your brain works best at 10 in the morning, then work at 10 in the morning. If you know your brain works best at 10 at night, then work at 10 at night, right? But protect that time. For me, yeah, I'm a 10 to 2. And then, yeah, from 8 to 10, I'm pretty good. But yeah, between 4 and 6, I'm a little like, bleh, I need coffee and whatnot. Yeah, I don't process. And I'm a late night person, not an early morning person, but I'm trying to balance that out a little bit. Also, if I have things to distract me, I will get distracted. I know a lot of people, like, they want to sit. I'm a desk sitter. I like to sit at a desk. Some people like to do their work in bed. Some people like to do it on a couch. Some people like to do it on the floor. Figure out what works best for you and protect that time. So if you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to work 7 hours on a Friday, I call BS, right? Because nobody wants to work on a Friday. Nobody, even our campus is a ghost town on Friday. Even for staff and faculty, it's gross. But here's the thing. If you are more productive 2 hours a day, then be productive during those 2 hours a day, right? So that's the thing that those are the questions that you have to work out for yourself. Do that. Again, get a jump start on stuff instead of waiting for the last minute. Like, again, last time I took an online class, I was in with a colleague of mine. We're like in the same department, but she's at SAC. She's like the straight A student, got everything due. It was like assigned on a Monday. She had to turn it in on Tuesday. And I was like, I was like scraping it by midnight on Sunday going, I forgot to do this, blah, blah, blah. Maybe have an accountability partner. You guys can work on stuff together. You guys can take your exams and quizzes together. You just don't write the same essay question. Yeah. So however it works for you, make it work for you. And even if you're like, okay, well, I don't have any questions for Professor Laney on Wednesday, but I just want to come to the open session and just sometimes, it's called body doubling, where like I'm working and you're working, but we're just on Zoom. I'm okay with that too. Like, I literally send my kid over to one of my best friend's houses so she can get stuff done, because they both have ADHD AF, right? And so just them being together and they put on music and they dance around and they might do yard work or gardening, like stuff I want him to do at my house, but he won't do it. So I send him over there. And she's like, oh my God, I got so much done. And I'm like, fantastic. Send me over your nephew. Like, so, I mean, like, I'm open for whatever works, even if we have to sit here in silence and I'm playing like music, I'm good. Because I'm here. I'm doing the work anyway. So if you want to be here too. And also in that survey part, when the class opens up, I will have those like end of the week, first week assignments. Again, that's just like one of the secret to your success. One is like, I did ask a question and then it said, how would I know you need more support? Because I can tell you, for me personally, when I'm super duper stressed, I don't call my friends. I kind of isolate. And so my friends know that about me. They will reach out. If I haven't heard from you in like a week, I'm reaching out. So guess what? As a professor, I'm kind of doing that too. If I'm heard, I can tell in Canvas if you've even logged on, looked at a page, how many pages, how many minutes, what date, what time. Yeah. So that's kind of what I do on Sundays. Like, okay, who has not been present for the week? Well, that's cool if it's a week. But if we're looking at a week and a half or 2 weeks, no. We need to get back on board. Yeah. And by the way, this class is not hard. Again, this is not anatomy where you have like thousands of muscles to memorize. Like, this is not anthropology where you're learning about like dead language or dead society. And that's cool. I'm fascinated by that. But that's, sometimes it's a little one note, right? Or like geography or the rocks and stuff. It's like, that's cool, but like, what does that have to do with it, really? I look at it like, come on, it has to be applicable. It has to be something that elevates our life in some way. Every single class you should be able to connect to it, even if it is like astronomy or like math or what, there's some sort of connection that if you make a personal connection to it, it will be more meaningful for you instead of just a class I have to take. Yeah, right. So I'm trying to see if I answered your question. Like, what are some tips and tricks? Oof. Stay in contact with the professor, ask questions, get to know yourself. Every syllabus is different. Every Canvas is different. Yeah, get a jump start on stuff if you can. Like sometimes if there's a big project, I sort of like start it. Like me personally, like I started this whatever document and it's not due for like 3 or 4 weeks, but I started it. Like I started a Word document and saved it and maybe put like 5 sentences like that was running through me. That right there would be like, you know, it's like laundry, right? You know, you're gonna have to do it. And if you let it pile up, then you're just like, right. So sometimes me just doing that, and then I will kind of save most of it towards the end, but at least I started it. So sometimes that helps. I also use the Pronto feature in Canvas, and that goes, I get SMS notifications. So if you need to get a hold of me, like just reach out on Pronto. I don't typically answer that after 8 o'clock. So 8 to 8, like Monday through Friday. Pretty good. But I don't freak out. As long as people are being cool about it, like maybe I will answer you later, but like I did get something at like 7 a.m. on like Easter morning. I was like, oh, somebody wasn't sleeping. Like somebody was like, and had to get it out. I'm like, all right. And you know what? I did answer it, but later that night, yeah, because it was a holiday. Why not? Also, we do have 4 holidays this semester. We have like 2 of the president's one that we had like, oh, okay, well, let's rethink that because the 21st is a holiday. Oh God. Okay. Let me double check. Yeah, right here. Hold on. Yep, the 21st is a holiday. Oof. All right, so let's look at this way. Why do we talk through that? The class will open on the Monday, but that doesn't mean you have to do anything, right? If it's a holiday, let's say the class started today, it would be the same thing. On a Monday, it would be like, well, I'll have it open, but you don't have to do anything. I'll have you guys check in by Tuesday. Same thing with, so the 18th is a holiday, the 21st is a holiday. Then we have Cesar Chavez, March 31st, and then we have Memorial Day, May 31st. And then spring break is the April 4th through the 9th. So put that on your calendars. That was like the first thing I did, like calendar, all the holidays and spring break. And oh, another hint for being successful in any sort of semester, set up right now something for spring break and something for the end of the semester. And I'm not saying travel because I know that's expensive. And it, like right now we still have travel restrictions, but if you can go visit a friend and your friend's like, oh, I told you, come visit me. I live in, Moore Park, whatever. Like, it's just like a hop, skip, like whatever. Your friend's like, oh, I've always wanted to go to SeaWorld. Yeah, put that on the books right now, because then you literally have a dangling carrot to look forward to. Yeah. My goal for this week is to get everything set up. And at the end of this week, I am booking something for spring break. And me and my kid don't line up this year. So I have to kind of like negotiate when my husband's home, right? So, but I'm going to do myself at least 1 night or 2 nights out of town. And I mean, I think I'm looking at Ojai, right? So like North LA, maybe San Diego, right? And then at the end of the semester, I'm planning something like after grades are in, because it literally is like a little dangling carrot, and maybe if it's not travel, it's like, I haven't been to the Grove, right? Or I've been saving up money to, go like, spend money at Macy's or something like that. Put it on your calendar right now, so you've got something to look forward to. That, I mean, honestly, I also, in our modules, there's like the first week module, and then I do have a second module that says like, these are like tools that'll help you. Look through that, read through that. That's helpful. I put different examples for notes in there. But in there, I do also talk about self-care. And in the prep module, I do talk about self-care. I think that's huge. I mean, like, even if I know self-care, some people think, oh, I have to get a massage. No. Self-care to me is I have a bottle of lotion in my desk, and I put lotion on my elbows this morning. Like, come on, if we can't do something nice for ourselves every day, like that big, then come on, we're going to burn out real quick. Yeah. So self-care on the short term and self-care on the medium term and self-care on the long term. Huge. Yeah. And then we'll talk more about that because we do have a class here on campus that really focuses on trauma and resilience for students and educators. So we could always talk more about that, and then I can introduce you to that professor later. Maybe I'll have her come do a little guest plug. We'll do that. Yeah, we're starting a trauma and resilience focused education initiative here. Myself and another professor, we got grants from the state to really help you guys focus on what it takes to be a human who is taking classes, right? You were a person before you were a student. And so we want to make sure that you guys are as healthy as possible. So basically where education and mental health kind of crossover is kind of where we're leaning. And even with professors, you're going to see some professors who are coping very well and some who are not. We're all human. We were human before we were in this role. And so we're trying to say, like, look at our strengths and focus on resilience, because we've all been through a trauma, all of us. For the first time in the last 100 years, our entire planet shares the same trauma. In addition to the other stuff that we had to begin with, right? So how can we ignore that? We can't ignore that anymore. So I'm a big fan. If you guys ever need to talk, I'm here. I do have limits to confidentiality. So if you tell me that you've been hurt yourself or hurt somebody else, I definitely have to get some, perspective on that. But again, I'm here to chat. I was a social worker before I was a professor. So let me know what I can do. But again, in this role, I am your professor, and there are people who do more clinical stuff than me. We have fantastic stuff here on campus. Because this book is free, you guys don't have to go get like the free book from the bookstore, but are you guys all getting that $300 thing at the bookstore? Every single student on this campus qualifies for a $300 gift card at the bookstore. Go do it. Do you guys want the phone number? I'll tell you right now. Jeez, like seriously, they were just telling us last week and I was like, what? They're like, no, it's not just the certain students. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm going to just walk you through it real quick. On the main, let's see if I can, I'll share the screen. On the main website, for our campus, check this out. It says right here, free books. Let me go back. Free books and more. Yeah, no joke. So when you click, let me go back. When you click on it, it takes you to the bookstore. And look at that, it's telling you, they don't really say right. So they do it this. So this, do you see what I say? When I was on the main SEC website, this was like one of the scrolling, click on it, takes you here to apply to your free books. And this is kind of like a survey, like a application in a way. So once you do this one, everybody do it today. Because I mean, they don't think they're going to run out of money, but who knows, right? So just go for it. Look at it. Yeah, you get your student ID, put your name, your first name. Are you taking in one class? Come get your free book, right? At least, right? Yeah, this has to be your main campus. So it's okay if you take classes elsewhere, but okay. And that's it. And then they just keep going. $300? Are you kidding me? And then there's another thing. If you show them your proof of vaccination, I think you get $200 on top of that. Wait, what? Yeah, we trust me. This is like, I don't want to say we're like a car dealership trying to get your business, but in a way. And I tell you what, I take pride in the fact that I'm going to give you good business. So do your business here. I'll give you good business. Good. So then even here, yeah, look at this. Fully vaccinated, get a $200 gift card. I do not qualify because I am not a student. I was like, wait, what? Oh yeah, and they make us pay. They make us pay for our parking. I was like, wait a minute, you guys can at least pay for our parking if we're vaccinated. No, it's not happening. But yeah, look at that. Come on. And by the way, food, t-shirts, graduation, license plate, whatever counts. Yeah. Keep the $200 and eat lunch there every day. What do you think? Yeah, that's $10 lunch is like 20 days. It's fantastic. Right? If you're only here for like once a week, there you go. There's your lunch for the week, for the semester. Come on, we have so much going on here. And plus we have clubs on clubs on clubs, clubs on clubs on clubs, resources, right? So what are your guys' major? Juliana, Judith, Edith?
Mine is child development.
Oh, okay, wait, who was that? Edith?
Yes.
All right, cool. And Judith?
Mine is ultrasound technician.
That is so cool. So you're at SAC or you were here?
I'm here at SAC, but I'm gonna transfer after I get my AAA.
Ultrasound is good. Ultrasound's a good one. That's like good work every day. Yeah. Okay, I'm just writing this down here. Okay. Okay, good. But here's the deal. I never, even if I'm talking to just child development majors, a lot of times everything applies. Everything applies. Everything applies. So like, you know, a lot of times we have funding and it says it's for child development, and sometimes it's open. So if you hear me talking, just ask, hey, is this for all of us or just whatever? But we're pretty flexible, especially now. And then Juliana, what's your major?
I just switched to human services. I was a psychology major my freshman and sophomore year though.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so my undergraduate's in sociology, but I could have gotten human services. In fact, that was more in line with what I ended up doing.
Yeah.
So to me, sociology and human services were very similar because you can take human services classes and it created the sociology major because I was psychology and then sociology, but I had the exact same classes. In fact, I took a lot of child development classes, but I wasn't a child development. That thing you can kind of, there's a lot of overlap. But if you really think about it, like unless you're doing something specifically career tech, like Judith, she needs a very specific one to go into that field. Like your your AA or your undergraduate can be kind of in anything, and then you end up going into your career after that, right? So don't feel like this is another conundrum. I think we push a lot of times on young people. You need to know what you're going to do. What's your major? Blah, blah. It's like what your major is now doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly what you're going to end up in. I mean, obviously, like Judith, you don't want to go into like ultrasound and then later be like, no, I really wanted to go into accounting. Not exactly in the same lane, right? But if you say psychology, sociology, human services, kind of in the same lane, right? So I always applaud people who are like, this is what I want to do, go for it, right? Later, you work your way up to be a supervisor or a teacher of that, right? And then that's where the money is, right? You do the work, you get the experience, and then you just professionally develop up the ladder. So awesome. Human services is great. You can do anything with that. You can work with kids, you can work with adults, you can work with couples, you can work with the elderly, you can work in public health, private health, whatever you decide to do, you get to kind of pick and choose as you go. Yeah. So cool. Yay. That's awesome. And so again, I try to be plugged into most things on campus. And so you guys can always ask me stuff. If I don't know, I'll help you figure it out. Yeah, I'm on a lot of committees. I'm on a lot of blah, whatever. So again, just keep in contact with me. Don't feel like you're bugging me. Just let me know what you need and I'm here. I want to have a meaningful semester just like you guys do, right? And what gives me meaning is when you guys make that connection to yourself and this content is working towards your life and you're figuring things out. Your 20s are for like figuring stuff out. I just love this time with you guys. It's like, and quite frankly, I don't know how I would be in my 20s going through a pandy right now. I don't like, so my niece, this is her second year of college at Portland. So she had that toilet bowl of a senior year, it's like, whatever your grades are in December, that's what your grades are in May, whatever, like crap, no prom, no graduation, just like, and she's doing fine, but she's like irritated still about it. And I would be pissed. Like if this was I was 18 and 20, 19 and 20 doing this. So the fact that you guys are still pushing through, I'm your biggest fan. So I'm going to be here to help you guys push through. That's my goal in life. Yeah. Let's try to make it better for all of us in the middle of this like weird, sucky, gray, I don't know. So, okay, cool. I'm so glad that we were able to connect. I wasn't sure if people are going to, I do know that people are going to see that front page and be pissed and drop the class. And some people are going to be like, awesome. Yeah, I got 2 extra weeks to click in. I think there was like 10 or 12 people. And so if we can get 8 more, I think the administration will be super duper happy. Yeah. But my goal is just to be available for you guys. Again, the class is not hard. The hardest part is just staying the course. And I think these 2 weeks will be nice. So see, you guys can focus now on your other classes and get those like all settled in. You have a little bit of information here in my class, gives you like a more of a comfortable time to like get to know stuff. And so when the class actually starts, then you guys will kind of be like ready to go. Yeah, I'm excited. Good. Okay, so any other questions I can answer for you guys? Cool. And just so you know, you may have seen this when you logged on to Zoom that I do record. So again, I don't require the videos. I do love to see your faces, but I do not require the video. So if it's just your name or you're not feeling, not suitable for, it's not suitable for, I was in my pajamas last week during a big old training here on campus. And like, I didn't have my picture on the whole time. One, the other teacher was like, how can you not have your picture on? I was like, I never made it out of my pajamas. And I was a hot mess. And my background was even worse. So I was like, no, I'm here. I'm participating. You can hear my voice, but you don't need to see the rest of it. So I'm pretty flexible about that kind of stuff. So if you're here, be here, if you don't want to have your camera on, great. If you don't, great. It's just, again, your level of participation is on you. It's up to you. I will always encourage it. One last piece of advice, Juliana, is like, push yourself just a half a step past your comfort zone. I don't tell people to swim in your discomfort, but we learn best when we're in a slight bit of discomfort, right? Because if everything's nice and easy and like super comes to you super quick, you're not really learning. I mean, you are, but you're not. So just a half a step. Like, I know people are like super introverted. And again, I'm a big fan of the introvert, but I tell people, challenge yourself to ask a question, make a comment at least once during a class. That's it, just once. And that's in every class. So your teacher knows who you are and that you are engaged. And even if your video is not on, you're still paying attention. Yeah. And I mean, if you want to do more, great, but at least shoot for one. Yeah, cool. All right, I won't keep you guys. You guys can stay or you can go, but it's up to you. I'm going to stay on till 11:15 and 11:45 in case somebody comes in late, but I'll be here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? What else do you guys need?
I think that's it. Thanks.
Yeah, okay, so look for, you can still get messages from me. And so just be on the lookout for messages. If you have any questions, please reach out. I don't know if it's going to let you email me in Canvas, but you do have my regular email through WebAdvisor, right?
Yeah.
So either way, during the class, Canvas is best. But if it's before the class, obviously just regular email. But I'm here for you guys.
Thank you.
Hey, ask me anything, anytime. I'm here.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
I'll see you in 2 weeks. Are you good to eat it? Good, you got it.